Hey, what's going on, guys? It's been a long time since I've done a video, but I've just been playing Borderlands 3 a lot recently, and I've come across this absolute destroying build. I like to call it the Apocalypse build because you absolutely wreak havoc upon everybody in this goddamn game. I mean, it is so crazy how overpowered they've made Moze. It's like Salvador back in Borderlands 2. I'm so freaking happy how much I destroy people because I went from going through the levels, not doing that much damage, and then I found all these legendaries, and now they work perfectly in unison with the classes that I've got going on this character. So let me get straight into the build. So we want to be focusing on the Demolition woman tree because that is where all the magic happens. We're gonna put 5 points into Fire in the Skag Den because the splash damage she deals has incendiary bonuses to it added on top of it, more damage. Means of destruction. Whenever Moze deals splash damage, there is a chance to add ammo to a currently equipped weapons magazines, with a smaller chance to return a grenade. Now, we've got a skill that I'm going to get to later on. It's on this tree, the vampire skill, which heals you. It's like the Grog Chain Lightning effect in Borderlands 2, except you're constantly getting ammo back and at a higher rate with this if you're constantly, because the grenades you're throwing do splash damage and the weapons you're using do splash damage. Now for the next skill, we want to chuck it in Tor Cross Promotion because all splash damage dealt by Moze has a chance to double in size. Now doubling the splash damage, double the grenade return, double the ammo return. It's almost like unlimited ammo. Auto Bear, I'm not too sure. I don't really use the Iron Bear that much with this build. It's too devastating. It's too devastating. You don't even need Iron Bear. Next, we want to max out Pull the Holy Pin. You have a chance to hit critical hits with grenades. It does come handy, but it's just, again, adding more to that damage. Then we want to go into putting all our points into Vampire. Whenever Moze damages an enemy with a thrown grenade, for any enemy hit, she restores a portion of her missing health. Restores 32% of her missing health. Now, if you got really crazy grenades going on, like in this build, this will obviously proc up to 100% within a second. So there's no need to worry about health in this build. It's just amazing. Now, one into the last because we do want to throw grenades in last stand just to maximize our damage. Now, this skill, Short Fuse, is the most deadly skill in the whole tree. Like what it does, there's a chance to do a secondary explosion set at the target after she does gun damage, and it's just crazy the amount of damage and multiplicative of this damage. It's just crazy. We're going to have a couple points left over. We may as well chuck them in to increase the grenade carrying capacity. Although that you don't really need it there. You can chuck it anywhere, but I'd prefer to put it there just to maximize the amount of grenades. But you're going to be getting so many grenades back. It's going to be crazy. You don't know where to put it. For the Iron Bear, I would suggest chucking in 2 nukes on the right side. Chuck that on there and then chuck 2 nukes on it. So as soon as you jump into the bear, you jump out and you got like a nuke chucking friggin' Megatron thing just running around the whole arena, distracting enemies while you're out there blasting them. The nukes are a really mad effect and yeah, it's just fun to use. Okay, the left side of the tree, we're going to go down this tree, Bottomless Mags. We do want this Cloud of Lead because obviously you get free ammo. Like the shot that triggers Cloud of Lead is a free bullet and it's incendiary and it does a lot of damage with this splash build because it counts as splash damage as well. So that's why this is going to be amazing. Coming down, we've got Stoke the Embers. Increase Moze and Iron Bear's incendiary damage. This will be just extra incendiary damage. Again, the incendiary proccing will be splash, which is also that 30% is multiplicative as well. And redistribution. After Moze scores a critical hit, she regenerates ammo for a few seconds. Now, remember, your grenades are doing critical hits as well. So, you're going to be regenning ammo every grenade throw, so it's just going to be coming back to you. What you throw out is going to come back. Now, we need to put 1 point somewhere, and I suggest putting it in Scrappy, just to get down to Russian offensive, because Moze can sprint and shoot at the same time. If you're using SMGs and all that, and with this build, you're going to be running down enemies and like exploding their tits off. It's going to be crazy fun. And for the last tree, we've got 5 into armored infantry, just to get down to here and here, because we need to put it somewhere, and that would be the most beneficial to us out of all this. And for drowning in the brass, kill skill. Killing an enemy grants Moze a stack of drowning in the brass. For each stack, Moze's fire rate is reduced, but gun damage increased for both her and her allies. Now, you can see progressively, I could feel this skill actually working, because every kill I got, every enemy I killed after that got subsequently easier to kill. And this is a really cool skill. And also another multiplicative bonus, which is another 10% bonus incendiary damage on critical hits. Amazing stuff. Okay, now we're going to get into the heat unpacking right now. Let's get to the main survival stuff that we need to be looking at. We got the transformer. There's no need for any special transformer. Get the one on the last quest where you talk to those 2 robots near the end in Necro de Feo. Transformer, survivability, amazing stuff. You don't really need to be rocking the transformer itself, but I feel it's just the best we've got so far in terms of shields. Unless there's like a B equivalent in this game that we're going to find out later in terms of DLC, but for now, this would be the best to rock. A transformer. It's a world drop as well, and you can get it from farming bosses or getting it as a quest reward from the 2 robots in Necro de Feo. Next, we've got the class mod, the legendary class mod. Now, with this class mod, the longer Moze goes without reloading, the more splash damage she deals. So we're just ramping up the amount of splash damage, which is the more splash damage we do, the more bonuses we get, the more ammo we get back, the more grenades we can throw. It just gets really crazy, as you can see in the footage. We got splash damage up to 100% with that. Yeah, and the bottom bonuses, 45% Hyperion critical hit damage. It's if you're using Hyperion weapons, be pretty ideal. But you can get different variants of this one. I've got the one that has +3 in Vampire, which adds more health back. To be honest, it's cool shit. Now, the Quasar, this is a crazy grenade mod. It absolutely, the ultimate crowd control weapon, throwing all basic mob enemies around the whole battlefield and letting them be your bitch. That is how this grenade works. It is a crazy grenade. You can substitute it for a Stormfront, for also dealing a lot of damage on the battlefield and also getting your health back in large quantities, because this just absolutely blasts like electricity in a large area. The Stormfront's really good. I've been using it a lot, but when I got the Quasar, it's the ultimate crowd control weapon, which you definitely want to use if you're doing those slaughter zones and getting into high rounds of those round 5 slaughter zones and all that sort of stuff. Now for the relic, I suggest getting the Grave Ward relic that he drops, but as of now I'm rocking a elemental damage boost 90% and adding 33% to my area effect damage, which is basically splash damage itself and extra incendiary damage and corrosive resistance. But there should be another better thing we can fill in this spot when we find something like that matches this build a lot, like flat out splash damage boost. But for now I'm just rocking this. It does do its job and give me damage. Alright, all the utilities are out of the way. Let's get to the amazing shit. The Engulfing Vicious Ogre. This is just a fun a filler weapon that I chucked in. It's not really that special. I mean, you can just have fun with it, but some enemies it works good with, some it doesn't. It's just a really good looking weapon. and I just have it here because it's just an assault rifle, just in case like a modifier says boost an assault rifles. This is something you can jump out. 150 plus splash damage radius. It's a splash weapon. It's worth rocking as an assault rifle. Okay, this has to be my favorite weapon in the whole game. Arctic Tame Nighthawken. You can get different elements, but the Arctic slows down the enemies. You know, they don't run around. They're easier to shoot down, and as you can see, it's times 3 bullets, times 3 of 412, and those are multiplicative with all the damage boosts we have. So you're not doing just 412 with everything we've got. All the bonuses we have that times 3. So this is why this weapon is absolutely destroying everything, just because of that point and the way it shoots. It's really fast shooting. You want this on the burst fire mode. Not the single shot, the burst fire, and just, if you're on PC, just slam down left and right constantly, or if you're on console, left and right trigger, auto aim onto them, and just spam the left click just to get as much fire rate as you can out of it. It's a beast of a gun, and this has to be the best weapon with Moze currently. I'm not sure if it will hit a nerf or anything, but I just really wanted to share this because I'm just amazed. Absolutely fucking amazed at what this thing can do with Moze. Now, the meat of the build, Ruby's Wrath. I have not come across an anointed Ruby's Wrath yet, but this thing is all splash damage, and you can shoot at least 30 rockets and still not reload, and it's got 7 in the magazine. That's how amazing this thing. It's pretty much with Moze, it's unlimited rockets at the highest damage in the game. And it also recently just got a buff. So I'm running around just one-shotting mobs and just sitting there and destroying bosses with this thing. It is an absolute beast. You find this one, you can farm it from bosses, particularly the Captain Traunt. That's where I got my first one from. This one, as you see here, and I've just come across a couple offline in farming the loot tinks, but they have not come across. I haven't come across a better one than the first one I've got. This is just an amazing rocket launcher, and this is a staple to every single build. You need this for your Moze. Every single Moze build needs a Ruby's Wrath or some type of explosive to run around with. Let me just swap this out. I got a couple of explosives. These are just a bunch of legendaries that I've come across. I'm still trying to get an anointed cocky flacker. That's going to be a hard grind, and that's an amazing weapon as well, the Super Bowl. But swap it out for the Scourge. Even with this, but in terms of efficiency, Ruby's Wrath would be the best rocket launcher to be rocking for the almost infinite rockets. This does an alright job, but yeah. That's basically that. These are the quintessential weapons and utility for Moze that you want to be rocking right now. Is the Nighthawken, any element, but preferably times 3, and times 7 Ruby's Wrath, with plus weapon damage and all this stuff is the Bloodsucking Blessed Blood, like the Blastmaster Legendary class mod, Transformer, Quasar. I'll just quickly show you how the Stormfront operates in terms of health back. See, the Stormfront just creates an absolute wall of electricity. It's still damaging really fast, and I'm on whatchamajiggy True Vault Hunter mode, Mayhem 3, and it's still just blaring through because of all the multiplicative damage we're drawing from the skill tree. But that's about it. It's just an apocalypse. There's nothing, like the end of the world's here, and this build is the catalyst of that. There's nothing that can stop us in this game. Thank you, Gearbox. I appreciate you guys watching. I just wanted to share my thoughts on it, and it's been a crazy ride, this build, and it's just the dawning of it, the beginning, and I'm just gonna ride through the nerfs that come through and just enjoy it as much as I can. Alright, appreciate you guys. Have a good one.